Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next comment or question comes from Off the Matrix. And this is in response to I'm not sure whether it's actually in response to the video or not, or whether it was in response to the preview of the video. This is part one, Roland D-70 assessment, a video I did in November 2024, but because of now the new publishing things, actually hasn't shown up on the channel until January 2025. Got to get my head around that. This is this new publishing thing. It's throwing me all out. Anyway, Off the Matrix writes, my D70 has a red glue issue. Have you made a video about repairing this issue? No. It's a simple answer. Because my Roland D70 does not have the red glue issue. So I have not undertaken the work. However, and this is the however, this new little area is heated by an electric heater. And what I've noticed is that because the D70 was sitting on the stand behind the camera from where I am at the moment, and that stand was fairly near the heater, you couldn't see it on camera, but the heater is kind of off to one side. And this area is rather warm. What I have noticed is a number of the weights have actually dropped off. Now I can confirm that I don't have the red glue issue. So the weights that have dropped off do not have the red glue issue. So I'm wondering whether somebody has already solved that one for me. But I will be doing an extra video at some point, filming it relatively shortly to filming this video actually, where I deal with that. So I've got to replace those weights. I've got to glue them back into the D70, and the D70 is actually still in the hut. So that is something I plan to get to. In fact, I'm going to be honest here and say I've got a whole raft of stuff I started kind of about a month ago, and because we've had such rotten weather and because it's been cold, I don't want to progress with other projects until I can kind of complete these projects. Otherwise I end up with too many projects on the go and try to remember where I am and what I'm doing, if you get my drift. But if you need to sort of deal with the red glue issue first, you need to effectively remove the keys from the keyboard if you're going to do the whole keyboard. And then what you need to do is you need to get a set of rubber marigolds and mix up some caustic soda, and you put the keys in the caustic soda to dissolve the glue. As well as wearing marigolds, you don't want to put your fingers in this stuff because it's particularly nasty. But you also need to make sure you do it in a well ventilated area, so in a garage or ideally in the garden outside of your house, because it is vile stuff, caustic soda, believe you me. So you know, a mask is advisable as well when you're doing this. And then what you do is you need to neutralise the caustic soda, so something like white wine vinegar will do that quite nicely. So to clean the keys, wash them well, make sure that you dry them well, and then when you finish that, you can glue the weights back in. Now, as I say, I will be making a video on this, given the publishing schedule at the moment, as I've said in a number of previous mailbag items, this probably won't be published until sort of mid to late half of this year, because there are a lot of videos that I have filmed over the last few months that are kind of scheduled and stacked, and I don't really want to change that. So, because it's a lot of work to get the sequencing reordered. So you kind of, if you're a YouTuber and you understand that, it's really difficult. It's a pain in the rear end actually. So new videos just have to go on the end of the schedule, and that's when they will appear. But that is the basic principle of what I'm going to do. I actually have the caustic soda. I have the big bucket to put the keys in. Although I might not do that way. I might do a slightly different way, because I only have to repair 3, maybe 4 weights. So I've yet to make a decision on exactly how I'm going to do it. But there will be a video showing how I did it, and how you might do it if you've got to do the whole keyboard. Next question comes from XP50 Player in response to Korg Kronos 3, game changer or just an update? Sunday morning rant I did in January 2025. XP50 writes, I think the modest pricing of the Kronos 3 reflects that it's merely an incremental R&D input into this new model. Korg can be commended for continuing to support the previous generation Kronos with retro-compatible updates and sounds. My main request is for more program banks. I will have to do some patch culling when the new sound pack comes out. Well, you know, the price point of 3599 US, 3250 UK pounds, euros somewhere in the middle, is jolly well priced compared to the competition. It is definitely well priced for Korg Kronos users that might be considering migrating to another platform if they can move to a new supported platform. Now, what I would say is, where you've asked for new user banks. Now, there was a specific question asked about that on one of the NAMM interviews, and Korg have said no, they haven't put any more user banks into the machine. And there is a technical reason why that is, and that is that the 32-bit architecture will not support any more user banks. However, a 64-bit architecture would, and they left the comment hanging at that. So, what does that mean? I have absolutely no idea, apart from it kind of fuels my, what's the word I'm looking for? It fuels my conspiracy theory that there is something more coming down the line. Maybe not this year, but next year from Korg.